People have been pleading and begging Wooting to make a TKL version of their Hall Effect keyboard, and they have finally delivered with the 80HE. Our prayers have been answered, and they have delivered what looks to be one of the best Hall Effect keyboards of the year. Needless to say, this keyboard was a long time coming, so let's check this keyboard out and see, is it worth the hype? So the pricing is as follows: $200 for the TKL plastic version and $290 for the aluminum version. The aluminum version will come with a carrying case, couple of extra keycaps and switches, the cable, which is velcro to this little pad, a keycap puller, switch pillar, and of course the keyboard. They've also included these replaceable keyboard feet at 2.8 degrees, 6 degrees, and 10-degree angles. Really interesting concept here as they just snap into the back of the keyboard. Kind of ugly when you look at the back, but you won't see it while facing the keyboard. I wish they would have made the color black to match the rest of the keyboard. Now I have here with me the aluminum version of the keyboard, and it is a hefty mother effer. It has a really nice premium feel to it. This is definitely a big step up from the original Wooting 80HE's case, which was plastic and pretty thin and cheap feeling. Even the new plastic cases on the 80HE look far better quality than the original. Now this has nice etch edges around the outside, very tastefully done. It is now gasket mounted instead of tray mounted like the original Wooting 80HE. The gasket here provides a nice flexible bounce. It's not super bouncy like some other keyboards that I've tried, but it does strike a nice medium. But the main thing that this is going to do is improve the sound of the keyboard by reducing vibrations, leading to a sexier sounding keyboard. I'm glad that they went with a gasket mount that sits down into the keyboard instead of one that screws into the top of the keyboard. This is actually a true gasket mount with silicone gaskets. The one thing I would kind of like to see is different firmnesses added on or into the box, like a soft, a firm, and a medium. That way you guys can play around with it and kind of tailor it to what you like instead of just having a one size fits all. Now this also has a polycarbonate plate instead of a steel plate like on the 80HE. Polycarbonate plates are normally on the thockier side and offer a softer typing experience as well. For custom keyboards, that's what I primarily use, so it's nice to see this here on a gaming keyboard and not that steel crap that we always got in the past. Now it also has screw-in stabilizers. You can also put in your favorite stabilizers here like some Durox, and you can also use plate stabs here, but I would not switch back to plate. And the stabilizers here are nice and solid, but I can see some people wanting to just go ahead and mod this and put their own stabilizers on it. The new light strip can interact and show different function layers, profiles, and even show the actuation as you press down. It's nice to see that it's not just some cosmetic thing, but this is actually useful, and it seems like they're going to be adding more features in the future for you guys to check out and make this even more useful. They've also smoothed out the texture of their keycaps. The original ones on the Wooting 80HE were just too rough, and I ended up throwing them out because they're just so cringy. Like, it just makes my skin crawl using the original one, so I don't even have them to compare. But I know for a fact that I could actually use these, game with these, and type with them and actually have a pleasurable experience with them. Now they're not going to be something like a GMK type experience. We gotta you know, calm down our expectations, but I think for an out of box experience, this provides enough of an experience for most users, and these are double shot PVT, so they are going to last you a long time. The Lekker switches have been updated to V2. They sound and most importantly feel 100 times better than the original Lekker switches. Huge improvement over the original. It actually feels like a mechanical switch now. The lubing job they did on here is pretty good as well, but I think you might want to hit these with some Krytox 205 Grade Zero lube. So if that's something you guys want to see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also drop me a comment down below saying that that's what you want to see. But until then, let's drop a sound test on the unmodded Wooting 80HE. All right, so what did you guys think of this keyboard? Let me know down in the comments below. I think that the polycarbonate plate, as well as those new Lekker switches and the PVT keycaps, the gasket mount, all work nicely to create a thocky experience. Now, could it be better? Could it be deeper? Could it be richer? Yes. And I think hitting it with some Krytox 205 grade zero lube on the switches would really give this a nice, richer sound. Also, the stabilizers are pretty good. The spacebar could probably use some work, some grease on there. I probably will do that in my modding video. So again, if you guys want to see that, let me know. You guys gotta let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know. And as you guys can tell in that sound test, it sounds way better than the Razer Huntsman V3. Let me just tell you, it is night and day. All right, so there is a new version of their software. It is the Wootility V5. You can access this via the browser, so you don't need to install anything on your hard drive. Then when you're done, you just close the browser. It's as easy as that. One thing that's very valuable is being able to change the layers by hitting just the function key in 1 and 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can easily switch between your typing profile and your gaming profile. And this is especially nice if you're using rapid trigger, because you don't want to be trying to type with a 0.1 millimeter actuation and a reset. You're just not going to have a good time, and you're going to have a ton of errors in your writing and typing. I recommend changing the RGB to differentiate between your different profiles. You can adjust the actuation point of your switches from 0.1 to 4.0 millimeters. For instance, I use 0.1 millimeters for gaming and 2.0 millimeters for typing if you want a suggestion where to start. I would also turn on the Taichon mode to get the lowest latency possible. This also lowers your RGB lighting on your keyboard. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few months or even about a year now, Rapid Trigger has taken the peripheral space by storm, and I think it is one of the most important features of the modern peripheral age. This allows you to reset the actuation anywhere on the switch instead of at a designated distance that can't change. This cuts transmission of your switch, leading to more precise movement in your games. SOCD takes this a step further and pretty much has been seen as a cheat. This is pretty much where you're holding down one key like the A key, then you press down the opposite key like the D key, and it will immediately prioritize your last key and cut all transmission of the old key. This means that it doesn't need to wait and start registering the last key. It just immediately switches, and in a game like Valorant and CSGO, where pressing the opposite key allows you to come to a dead stop after tapping, it is invaluable. So invaluable that this has already been banned in CSGO because it is just that good. But in Valorant, it is still available, and even though it is a small difference in Valorant, you can still see more consistency in your first bullet accuracy, leading to you winning more gunfights. So is it really that small? Nah, it's actually a pretty big deal. I think that strafing in any first-person shooter game is so underrated. I think it is one of the most valuable skills to learn long distance, getting those precise movements, and then also making your opponent miss while you're hitting accurate shots is invaluable. And a lot of people overlook that. They just think, oh, I need to just hit a sick flick shot. No, you need to be moving, having precise, accurate movement while hitting people on the head. And this keyboard, that is the strength of that. And especially with this low latency now, the SOCD, this keyboard is just over the top. It is over 9,000. And they've also got a gaming mode, which allows you to take advantage of the analog, which again acts almost like a joystick, to get that fine-tuned movement that would be awesome for games like Wukong or AAA titles. So looking around the competition, we have things like the Razer Huntsman V3 TKL. That one's coming in at $180. It doesn't sound or feel as good as this one. It does have similar features, but this one is just far, far better. Don't even waste your money on the Razer anymore. Just go with this one, especially if you want a TKL now. This is the TKL top dog. Now, another keyboard that I think comes close to this one is the ZenBlade 65. That is a tray mount. That one's coming in at $200. It sounds similar to this one, but again, this one just has all the features, has that low latency mode, has the 8,000 Hertz. This one by far beats all the other keyboards, in my opinion, that are in the running for best Hall effect keyboard. Now, I was skeptical of this keyboard. I thought it was going to be a complete bust. It was going to be too late. But after using it, I just can't take my hands off of it. Like, I have to be using this keyboard now, forsaking all other keyboards. No more ZenBlade 65, no more Huntsman. Those are dead to me. Those are dead. I mean, they're not dead to me. They're still, they have their qualities. But what I want to stress is that this is my favorite keyboard right now. And moving forward, this will be my main keyboard. I know a lot of you guys have been asking what I'm gonna use. This is what I'm gonna use. This keyboard gives you the confidence to take those gunfights and win them. Shroud could be standing in front of you and you can just outstrafe him and hit him in the head. That is just the confidence that this keyboard, that the Wooting 80HE will give you. So gaming with this keyboard has been outstanding. I love the layout. It is still a pretty compact keyboard for what you're getting here. You get your arrow keys back, you get the home row and all that stuff. You get the F keys. Amazing, amazing keyboard. Now, aluminum or plastic, that is up to you. I could go with either way. Honestly, I went with the aluminum because, you know, I'm more on the custom side. I love my heavy keyboards. But again, if you're on a budget, there's nothing wrong with the plastic version, the $200 version. It's gonna sound a little bit different. And if you're just gaming, 90 to 95% of people should just go with the plastic and you're gonna be happy with that. Now, one thing that was fun about the Wooting 60HE is that you can use your own case. Here you have to use Wooting's cases, but I do believe that they released the files for their layout so that people will be able to create cases for this. So it will be interesting to see moving forward what third-party cases we will see for the Wooting 80HE, and I can't wait. But for now, these cases that they're dropping with the keyboard, the default ones, the stock ones, are phenomenal as is. All right, guys, so that is gonna do it for my review of the Wooting 80HE. It is an ultimate, like, just go out and buy this keyboard right now. If you're on the fence, don't think twice, or you gotta save up for it. Do that, save up for it, and go and cop this keyboard. I don't get too excited over keyboards too often, and I gotta say, this one proved me wrong. It is worth the moolah. All right, guys, so that is gonna do it for this review. It has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.